Welcome to the Bringing Intimacy Back show, where intimacy is real. If you desire to intimately connect with yourself, significant other, children, family, friends, community, and higher power, then this is the show for you. We explore intimate topics, inspiring life stories, spirituality, and insightful tips on strengthening relationships. The show is hosted by Dr. April and her co-host, Coach K. Let's get this episode of the Bringing Intimacy Back show started. We share with you today the secret power to intimacy to create the life you love or love the life you create. Now here's your host, Dr. April, and her co-host, Coach K.
Welcome to the Bringing Intimacy Back show, where intimacy is real. How are you doing, Coach K?
I'm a little bit under the weather, but I am doing amazing otherwise. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good. Yes. I'm so sorry to hear that you're underneath the weather.
Yeah, but my body just said rest, so I didn't go to the gym, got my orange juice going, and I'm here for this. All of that stuff keeps me up, so.
Good. Awesome. Yes. Good. So I'm excited about today's topic of feminism and conscious relationship.
Yes, that is a very, very good topic. And it seems to be huge and, coming to the forefront. So I'm glad we're talking about it.
Right. And feminism, for some people, that's like a negative word. Yeah. So but in reality, it's a powerful word.
It is. It is so powerful. And many times something that's powerful, especially when it's powerful on the backs of women, it's like, oh no, you can't be powerful.
Yes. And then the other part of a conscious relationship, people are like, well, what is that? But I know sometimes people end up in stuff that they don't even know how they got into. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yes. So we are going to be talking about all of that. But before we start talking about that, one of the things we also do is the charity of the month. And this charity of the month really kind of ties in. It's Stalking Prevention and Awareness and Resource Center. And when I think about stalking and all that, I think about because it happens on both sides, but especially it happens for women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And how we really do have to be very, and it's for everyone, conscious of where we're at, what we do, because it can happen at any moment.
Yes. And just like, other things don't always look one way. If you feel like you may have a stalking situation, this would be a great organization to reach out to so you can just get more educated on it, learn more, and protect yourself.
Right, definitely. And the website is stalkingawareness.org. And you can also donate there because it's a great organization. Yes. So let's just go right into the topic because I'm excited and we should just dive right in. Feminism. Feminism. When we say that word and you're out there and you hear that word, what comes to your mind?
I think, speaking of when you said earlier, so many people say that it's such a negative word. I think because it's almost been weaponized, used as a weapon of sorts against men. And I think that because women had been so suppressed for so long, and, there was this group of women and probably men that fought for so many rights for us, opened so many doors that they may have gone too far over. But true feminism is true. I'm sitting here looking down and I have my legs crossed, So that's feminism to me, because it's something different to all of us who are female.
Right. And it doesn't mean that it takes away from beauty or takes away from It just means, hey, that we appreciate and respect women.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes, and they can have an equal, as a woman myself, an equal partnership or equal at the table. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just because you're maybe powerful in business or whatever, you can also be soft in a variety of different ways.
Yeah. So we think about that power, that CEO, honestly, we're all CEOs of our own life. But if
Yes,
we think about that power suit woman who has to wear that blue suit, whether it be pant or the skirt, and hair pulled back in a bun, but to make sure that she has that feminine touch and she keeps in tune with that feminine side, she may throw on the red lipstick.
right.
She may put on her, that earring or that one ring, or, you know, it may not be the heel, because the heels could be the power part. But to remind herself of her softer side, it could be a little bow that she puts in with that power bun.
Yes.
All of those things represent feminism in some sort of way.
Hmm. Yeah, and sometimes on the flip side, especially in relationship, sometimes men like they're attracted, but they don't know how do I show up for that type of woman?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do I hold the door? Do I not hold the door?
Oh my God. Yes. I think that the using the terms in today's society, it scares some men from acting how we saw in movies when we were growing up. How,
Right.
like you said, you open the door, you pull out the chair, you do these kind acts for that feminine woman. But it's like, okay, well, when you say feminism, I don't want to pull out your chair, because I don't know if that's, me showing you equal
Right.
power in this thing. So it does become tricky and scary for not just men, but other women who their feminism looks a little bit different.
Right.
It's not the red lips. Like me, I cried real tears when my mom and my aunt put lipstick on me for my prom. I was
Mm,
like, I don't want to wear this. What? Like, why? Well, cause you look lady. Like you need to. I have on a dress.
right.
I have my hair done.
Right.
I don't want to take that next step to put
Right.
on makeup.
Right. Right. So it's a difference. And as you were saying, like your legs are crossed, mine's are not. It's just yeah, yeah. It's different. We each
Yep.
have, and it's okay. However that looks for you and what feels comfortable for you. And when we show up in relationships, it's also being able to communicate.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for some of us, we like our doors open. I like my doors open sometimes, but sometimes I just want to get in the car. So
Right. Like it's cold. I need to get in.
yeah, yeah. So sometimes he opens it, sometimes he doesn't have a chance because I'm already there. But that's okay.
Absolutely. Like my husband knows, do not bring me flowers.
Mhm.
He absolutely knows, bring me candy. That just melts my heart. But there are women who love and adore flowers
Right.
and the chocolates and the balloons. And that's where you said that communication comes into play. Because how horrible of a person would I be if I just keep getting these flowers in the back of my mind? I'm like, this is so dumb. But I didn't communicate that doesn't make me feel like your woman. That doesn't make me feel any type of way other than all these things are going to die next week, and that's just a waste of money.
Right. Right. It's knowing yourself. And it's also, I think as women, is we also uplift each other.
Yes.
What's
Yes.
good for one woman may not be good for the next.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And it's okay to, compliment and recognize that woman. I love it when I see one woman who compliments another woman, because she may have needed that. She
Right.
may not have felt her most feminine self
Right.
in that moment, but because she put on that dangle earring and someone said, "Oh my, that looks good on you," that could change the trajectory of her entire day and her mindset of this is enough. Yeah, I have on the baggy jeans and I have on a t-shirt, but I put that touch of earring on and someone noticed and they still recognize me as that feminine woman.
Hmm. Yeah, it's about whatever your style is, you know? Yeah. And if you feel like you're losing it, sometimes we get so busy with children and everything. We're like, oh my gosh, I don't even have time for myself. Find the one thing that you really like. Like for me, it's putting on eyeshadow. That's like that's my one little thing that I love to do more than lipstick or anything. But it's finding that one thing that you like and
Yeah,
putting that on and helping, because the other aspect is being able to speak your truth. Because when we talk about the next part of this is conscious relationship, it's being aware, being
yeah,
able to speak your truth. And you can enter more into a conscious relationship as you know more about yourself.
absolutely. Being in tune with you, like you know that when you put on that eyeshadow, it just makes you feel amazing.
Right.
And so you being able to communicate that with your partner,
Right.
while you're getting ready, and he may say, "Hey, hurry up." You're like, "Hey, look, I need to complete this look and
Yes.
this feel. I'm
Yes.
gonna put this on." And now he's aware, like, okay, I know we're not walking out the house until I see that eyeshadow goes on because I want to make sure that she feels amazing.
Right.
And then I'm going to make sure that I let her know
Hmm.
that looks amazing on you. Having that consciousness and awareness inside of the relationship comes with first letting the other person know what the heck is going on.
Right. Yeah, because that shows like, hey, I matter and this is my truth. Because sometimes you people enter in these relationships, like I said earlier, and they have no idea how they got there.
Mhm.
But they haven't really shown up, be conscious, being aware. And this ties into intimacy. It's because as we know, as even as sex therapists, being able to feel sexy, feeling your feminine, um, and but also being present, being aware.
Absolutely. And that's something I think my husband is learning more about me and music. Like he's always known when we used to go out, I would just get lost in music.
Okay.
But here lately, when I'm cooking, I figured out how to put Spotify on the big TV at the house. So he'll walk in from work, the music's going, I'm feeling my best self.
Right.
And he sees that difference, he sees that there's a little wiggle in me that's a little
Yes.
softer.
Exactly.
And so now some of the songs that he noticed that I really get into, he put on his playlist. So when he's working out here in the house, I may hear one of my songs come on. And I'm like,
Oh, good. Yes. Okay.
but that's an awareness. That's the consciousness that he has. And he asked me, what is it about this song? Why do you like this song? And that's that communication piece that couples need to have with each other. And even the children notice, they have their songs too that really get them, because intimacy is real when it comes to our children as well,
Right.
and the connection that we build with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we all are listening, one of the songs come on and we're all into it, that's a beautiful, intimate moment with the entire family. And we're conscious of that relationship, that family relationship. So this is definitely bigger than just, the two people sometimes.
Right. Right. It impacts the whole family and also how they grow up and see that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's wonderful that they're seeing a healthy, conscious relationship because many people don't. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes. And so as they see it and as they go out and develop relationships, they know what it means to show up.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
their authentic self, the communication piece of it, they know their mom is not like the girly
Right.
type, but they also see that her feminine touches, they do come out when a certain, certain songs come on, or um when me and my husband might go out to eat and I may actually, throw on a pair of heels, or because they know if I throw on my heels, okay, I'm getting like girly time at this point. 'Cause
Yes. Yeah. And like you said, that being that feminine side, it's when it comes out for us, or just it's something that some people feel it all the time. It's whatever that feels good for you. That's what we're trying to say. Whatever it feels good for you, but also having that giving you more strength and power to show up and to speak your needs and your wants.
1,000%. And that's something that I'm pretty sure that we both see that with some of the clients that we get in who, you know, the struggle in the relationship may be, he may feel like she's not feminine enough.
Right.
And that's a real thing, depending on how he was brought up, what he saw. If his mom was like super feminine and she was super submissive, she always wore heels, she
Mm-hmm.
always had her makeup on, that's ingrained in his brain. And if he meets this woman who, she loves her jeans, she loves
Right.
her sneakers, and she's not wearing that, it's like, well, you're not feminine enough.
Right.
And to that couple, I would say, if you don't reach out to one of us, sit down and talk to each other, because enough is what's within the person.
Mm-hmm.
Enough is not what you see.
Right. Right. And be okay to state your needs, to state what you want, just to negotiate.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Because it could be, okay, if this is not feminine enough, twice a week,
I can do
I'll
this.
make sure that I throw on a pair of heels and I just walk around the house for you. I mean,
Variety of things, yeah. And we're not saying like you have to have heels to be feminine. You can be feminine and just a variety of. It's however you define it.
right, right. But it's coming to that common ground of what someone thinks
Mm-hmm.
versus what you know to be, if
Right,
that makes sense.
right. And I also think it's even what you call yourself, because with gender fluidity, just
Hmm.
because a person looks XYZ doesn't necessarily mean that's what they um, prescribe to.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, yes. So we also have to be careful in that, especially in today's world.
Absolutely. That is definitely, and look, that's a whole topic in itself that we can talk about another day for another
Yes,
another
yes. I
space.
just wanted to put that caveat there. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. And as we are thinking of young men growing up, how we need to teach them how it looks different.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes in their mind, it's just, I mean, with some a gentleman and his mind, his wife is always needs to be submissive. Her head's lower than his. He eats and she rubs his feet. And that's what he sees that as. But for others, it may be something different. So it's teaching, and in teaching young men, it's basically teaching them to respect
Yes.
women.
Yes. And respecting the differences.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. And then when it comes to that conscious relationship, think when you're in a relationship, and even when you started off, you really need to be conscious. That's not just looking at all the good stuff.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, she's so sexy, or she's, beautiful hair. Conscious is also being able to feel that emotion. Whereas, all the different aspects. How does that person communicate? How do they talk? Being aware.
Absolutely. And being self-aware.
Oh, yes.
That is huge in in relationships, because if we may be super critical and we may be aware of our partner,
Right.
but we may be completely oblivious to self-awareness and being conscious about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
If I know that, I know I was raised in a loud household.
Okay.
All my family, loud, 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 both sides.
Okay.
And and my husband is not so loud. So when I go to visit his family, back in, this is what we're 20 years in now, but back then I had enough self-awareness to just observe
Right.
how does this family dynamic do before I just interject my loud self into the picture. And now we are, 20 years down the line, and they all know when I come around, everybody's going to get loud because we can. We can
Right.
just be loud. But I have that self-awareness.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm glad you mentioned that. And since I'm like in the beginning process and in meeting my fiance's family, uh, yes, I'm very aware of how they interact, how they communicate, how it makes me feel.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's critical also. Like you said, it's that self-awareness. Then I'm also watching how he interacts with his family. What are their traditions? Are they loud, soft? Do they talk over one another? Luckily they're not. They're a great group of people. But it's being aware. Yes. And I think overall, if in this world today, if we should be more aware of people and what they say and how they feel. Because as Maya Angelou says in the end, you're not going to remember so much what people say to you, but you're going to remember how they make you feel.
absolutely. 1,000%. And that also comes with the same communication that you have with your partner. It's okay to have that communication with your partner's family and with your own family,
Mm-hmm.
because that is a part of being conscious in your relationship, is figuring that piece out with the extended family.
Right. Right. So
Now, I did a mhm,
go on. Go on.
I did a talk, a while back about, I married you, not your family. And it just talked about, as long as you and your partner have that relationship, that extended family, they don't matter, but you have to take that with a true grain of salt and flip that on both sides. Because if your partner is a family oriented person, then
Right.
it absolutely does matter.
Right.
And that means that if you are very aware and conscious of the relationship that you're having with your partner's extended family, that you and your partner can talk about it, because he knows them better or she knows their family best. So that communication starts there.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that's really triggering me that I just can't build that relationship with your extended family? Or because I just know I cannot, then we'll make this, I will visit. I just learned to not say certain things, but I won't visit as much. So it's figuring that part out too, because how you interact with your partner's extended family will always affect your relationship, period. And cutting your family off, barring certain circumstances, that's really not an option.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you sometimes have to we had a big family for Christmas and there's 14 of us, mostly my family.
Wow.
Yes, yes, but some of JP's family. And you're right, it impacts how do you show up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you've just got to realize, and especially when you have kids, because they are also part of both families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're watching everything.
Hmm. Yes. So the main part of our conversation today is first, it's about that self-awareness, especially in the sense of feminism, being aware for yourself, also in teaching young men out there to respect women of all kinds. You know, don't go into and have this like notion that it's supposed to be this. Women, we come in all different sizes, all different looks. You know, it's just amazing. And then also being aware, being fully present in relationships.
Absolutely. And the last thing I'll throw on that is even with our young men,
Mm-hmm.
being okay with understanding your feminine side,
Oh, yes.
because that's a real thing. And that doesn't mean that you're anything other than who you are.
Right.
But just thinking about little children, a little boy who may handle a doll baby when they're little.
Right.
Well, guess what? When he has a baby in real life as an adult, he learned how to tune into his feminine side with that child
Right.
because of the being able to be okay with that doll.
Right.
That doesn't make that child, that male child, anything other than himself. That's a huge thing. And of course, that's a whole different discussion. But I just wanted to bring that forward because feminism is not just a woman trait.
Right.
Because we have masculine and feminine inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I want a man that is gentle with my children, you know, and that's his feminine side, being able to be soft enough to handle our children delicately or certain situations. So that's another point that we can talk about as well.
Right, definitely. I'm glad you mentioned that. You're right. All of us has both parts in us, you know, and just because, you know, a male may like to put on face cream or even eyeliner or whatever the case may be, that's okay. Yeah. Or like you said, they're soft, or a woman likes to, I don't know, fix cars. That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And we just have to learn how to respect one another and be comfortable for who you are.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this has been a great topic for us to discuss. Yes, as we start this new year of January and moving forward and being authentic, true selves. Yes, that intimate relationship with self.
So important.
So,
Conscious.
yes, definitely. Well, we're going to take a small break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what the upcoming shows will be.
Join Vacation Counseling on the Christian Couples Retreat, September 13th through the 18th of 2024. Enter into a deeper connection with God and love and honor each other passionately in God's love. Dr. April Brown, intimacy and sex therapist and author of Improving Intimacy, and Dr. Jason Prendergast, licensed clinical pastoral counselor and reality TV show therapist, will lead you through Christian-based relationship and intimacy therapy, the Gottman Method, temperate therapy, group and private couples counseling, and enjoy intimate vows exchange, dancing, and boating excursions. For more information, call 239-565-6921. Book your Christian Couples Retreat today at vacationcounseling.com. Ignite the passion in your marriage.
Welcome back to the vacation. Welcome back to Bringing Intimacy Back. Yes, that was a great conversation we just had about relationships and conscious. Yes. So what's coming up next?
Oh, we have even more great discussions coming up soon. So next week on January the 18th, we have Creating Connections, Bridging the Emotional Gap with Vincent Infante. On January 25th, we have Overcoming the Impact of Pornography on Marriage with Timothy Rigo. Then on February 1st, we have Men, Loneliness, and Social Isolation with Jason Lang. Many great shows.
Awesome. Yes, I can't wait to dig into more topics of yes. So if you're out there, enjoy the beginning of a new year. and we will see you guys next week. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we'll see you guys next week on the Bringing Intimacy Back show.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Bringing Intimacy Back, where intimacy is real. You can also find us at bringingintimacyback.com, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Dr. April Brown's 7-book series, Improving Intimacy, is now on Amazon. We'll see you next Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe.